Shout out to Blue Apron for sponsoring this update. Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country, and there's a reason. See what the fuss is all about and get your first 3 meals free when you visit blueapron.com/theknow.
Oh, what's in here?
Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley. EA says that it's canceled the rest of the qualifier events for its Madden NFL 19 Classic Series after the fatal shooting in Jacksonville, Florida over the weekend. CEO Andrew Wilson said in a statement yesterday that the company will review its safety procedures, and he said, while these qualifying events are operated independently by partners, we work with them to ensure competitive integrity and to gather feedback from players. We have made a decision to cancel our 3 remaining Madden Classic qualifier events while we run a comprehensive review of safety protocols for competitors and spectators. He added that, I know many of us, myself included, are filled with shock and grief. 2 Madden players, Taylor Robertson and Elijah Clayton, were killed in the attack, and the gunman took his own life. It looks like another game has changed its loot boxes to comply with the new anti-gambling laws. Blizzard announced that paid loot boxes in Overwatch are going to be disabled for players in Belgium after regulators there decided that paid loot boxes are considered gambling. Blizzard wrote, while we at Blizzard were surprised by this conclusion and do not share the same opinion, we have decided to comply with their interpretation of Belgian law. As a result, we have no choice but to implement measures that will prevent Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm players located in Belgium from purchasing in-game loot boxes and loot chests with real money and gems. Now, we have seen some other games also starting to make changes to their loot boxes. Valve started telling Dutch players exactly what's inside their Dota 2 loot boxes after authorities in the Netherlands made a similar ruling equating them with gambling, and other developers are also rolling out restrictions for players in Belgium and the Netherlands based on their new requirements. Hey, if you were around this morning, we got another Nindies video today showing off even more indie games coming to the Nintendo Switch, and the big mic drop announcement was that the tactics game Into the Breach is out now for the Switch. The turn-based game from the developer that made FTL faster than light has been a pretty big hit on PC and will be a great addition to the Switch's library. A couple of other highlights, the action RPG Hyper Light Drifter, which releases on September 6th and is an awesome game. If you haven't checked it out, we did a game club on it back in the day. Highly recommend checking that out. The multiplayer archery combat game Towerfall, which maybe did we also do a game club in that? Maybe they were just running through our list. Anyway, that's dropping on the 27th. Also the puzzle game Treasure Stack that's coming this winter. The old school ninja action game The Messengers coming out August 30th, so just a couple days now. And the indie RPG hit Undertale is coming out September 18th. Oh, and then also the cat-based crafting game Mineko's Night Market is coming to the console early next year. There were a bunch of other announcements as well. Nintendo is continuing to roll out the red carpet for indies and try and meet those crazy goals they set earlier this year. They're trying to get like hundreds of indie titles onto the Switch, so they are definitely working hard on it. Halo the Master Chief Collection is coming to Xbox Game Pass soon, and in advance of that, it's getting a huge update. In a blog post, developer 343 Industries wrote that an update releasing today is a massive 73 gigabytes. 73 gigabytes. It's going to include a bunch of features. They'll include visual enhancements for Xbox One X, improved matchmaking, offline LAN support, faster load times, updated menus. They're also going to add a custom game browser in the future, as well as more quality of life improvements. 343 also wrote they're aware that lots of people want to see Halo Reach added to the collection. They said they don't have anything to announce, but wrote that it's on the long list of things the team is constantly evaluating and thinking about for possible future updates. The collection is arriving on Game Pass September 1st. Hopefully they're ironing out a lot of issues that collection had when it released. It never quite got up to where people were hoping it would be, but maybe now that it's coming to Game Pass, they finally got some of those issues licked. We got reviews for Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Brian's upcoming favorite game. We are going to lose him. He's not going to come into work, and no one will be writing our news. But it's looking like critics really enjoyed the latest game in the venerable JRPG franchise so far. So hey, maybe at least his addiction is justified. It's currently sitting at an 88 on Metacritic, 90 on OpenCritic, so overall pretty positive. And that also will probably change as more reviews roll in, they usually do. This is the first Dragon Quest game to come to the West since Dragon Quest IX released for the DS back in 2009, so it has been a while. If you've never played a Dragon Quest game, it's a classic JRPG in every sense of the word, with old school turn-based combat and a focus on dungeon crawling. And also all the characters are designed by the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama. There's also a ton of pun-based humor, and who doesn't like that? It's basically Barbara the game. Polygon said it's a beautiful example of what a JRPG can be after 30 years of lovingly guided evolution. Its success is irrevocably tethered to those decades of development though, and that means you probably already know if this is a game for you. GameSpot wrote, its beautiful presentation, both visual and story-wise, combines with a tried-and-true gameplay formula for a journey that's full of heart and soul. Once you find yourself sucked into the world of Dragon Quest XI, it's going to be hard to put down until you reach the grand finale. Not a long wait now, the game is releasing next week, September 4th, for PlayStation 4 and PC. So if for whatever reason you're like, yeah, I can juggle Dragon Quest, a game that's going to take like 100 hours, and also Spider-Man, man, you do you. I believe in you. I really do. Speaking of new games, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is out today for the Switch, and we got a bunch of reviews for that too. The game, which was originally launched in Japan last year as Monster Hunter Double Cross, has an 83 on Metacritic and a 79 on OpenCritic. US Gamer called it a no-frills port, but added Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate exists as the most thorough exploration of Monster Hunter to date. If you can get over its 3DS era visuals, you're in for a seemingly endless experience you can easily devote a lifetime to. So, great. The holiday period has begun. Others noted, though, that this game doesn't have all the quality of life improvements that we saw in Monster Hunter World, so keep that in mind if you're picking it up. It is stepping back a little bit into a franchise, so maybe lacks some of the polish. Also, again, 3DS based, so not quite Monster Hunter World graphics, don't expect those. God is a Geek wrote, it's nice to have Monster Hunter on the Switch, but those coming in fresh off the back of Monster Hunter World may be in for a rude awakening. After a trailer for Devil May Cry 5 was shown off at Gamescom, a lot of people have been wondering where exactly the game fits into the franchise's overall timeline. Seems a little odd. Well, we do have an answer, so that's good news. Capcom producer Matt Walker confirmed the events of the game will take place after those of Devil May Cry 2. The game's scheduled to come out March 8th of next year. It's going to be following Devil May Cry 4 from 2008 and then DMC Devil May Cry from 2013. But it's sort of going back to those roots. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate comes out in December, and Nintendo says it's going to release a special themed Pro Controller to go along with it. Not a huge surprise there, I guess, but hey, it's official. It's a spiffy looking black and white color scheme, and the Smash logo is visible over the main body of the controller. It'll be available bundled with the game's Ultimate Edition, but you can buy it separately if you want to. The game, which will feature like every Smash Bros. Character ever except for Waluigi, who's, I don't know, off somewhere doing something, will release December 7th for the Switch. A little while ago, a remake of John Carpenter's 80s classic Big Trouble in Little China, amazing movie, was announced with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the lead role, and fans were kind of skeptical. Look, everyone loves The Rock, of course, but I don't know, maybe possibly kind of like too cool to play the doofus Jack Burton that Kurt Russell pulled off so well. Well, it turns out the new Big Trouble in Little China is less of a remake and more of a sequel, at least according to the head of production on the project. Collider interviewed Hiram Garcia, and he said, you can't remake a classic like that. Speaking the truth. Instead, they're going to continue the universe. He further stated that Dwayne Johnson will not be playing Jack Burton. In fact, he said there's only one person that could ever play that character, which leads us to believe, I don't know, maybe they're trying to lure Kurt Russell back to the role? Come on! Imagine like old man Jack Burton still as cocky, lovable as ever, having to shepherd The Rock on a crazy adventure. Suddenly, this project got a lot more interesting sounding, right? It did to me, for sure. Anyway, that crazy Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie is going to begin filming pretty soon, and they're still adding some kind of interesting, if potentially bizarre cast members. They've already got Deadpool 2's Zazie Beetz, Glow's Mark Maron, Robert frickin' De Niro in the cast. Now, they've added Alec Baldwin. Yeah, that's right. Baldwin will be playing Thomas Wayne, father of Bruce, but unlike most previous incarnations of the character, this Thomas Wayne apparently going to be a little bit more of a sketchy dealer. The Hollywood Reporter claims he's written as more of like a 1980s Donald Trump type, a cheesy and tanned businessman, which would explain why I guess Baldwin would be their go-to guy for the part, since he has been parodying Trump on SNL since before the last election. They say not to expect this darker one-off Joker story to fit neatly into the Batman canon that you already know, so this is gonna be its own weird little thing. I'm intrigued and I'm curious, and I don't really know how to feel about this one. So weird. There's some real potential, but then also you know what? I don't know. I guess we'll see if it's good when it comes out. Anyway, that's the news for this roundup. Let us know what you think of all these updates in the comments down below to make sure you get all the crazy news from every corner of the internet every weekday. Like this video, and hey, if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the new. That way you can also get the crazy news from every corner of the internet every weekday. Ta-da! Thanks to Blue Apron for sponsoring this update. You want to get better at cooking? There's no time like the present. You don't have to keep putting it off because Blue Apron's going to make it easy for you. They're the #1 meal kit delivery service in the US, and there's a reason for that. They deliver fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and step-by-step recipes right to your door, and every meal can be cooked in 45 minutes or less. Plus, their menu changes with 12 new meals every week so you don't keep repeating the same thing over and over and over. And they're flexible. They've got different plans to suit your needs. 2-person plans, family plans, my favorite new addition, the wine plan. I like Blue Apron because I was not much of a cook growing up. I didn't know a lot about cooking, but I enjoy the process. There's something really zen about it, and also because then you get to eat your work. And I've been trying to improve. It's been a fun process. I'm making progress. And it's also summer. That means the perfect opportunity to break out your grilling skills, or develop some if you don't have any yet. They've got some awesome options from cheeseburgers with spicy slaw to seared chicken and tangy barbecue sauce and beyond. If you want to try it out, Blue Apron is offering our No Buddies your first 3 meals for free. Just go to blueapron.com/theknow and it will be applied when you redeem the offer on their site.